So also what I always say is don't be too concerned, because most of you, nobody here is perfectly 180-degree rotated. And you don't need to be, and you'd be surprised. There are many famous dancers who actually are not perfectly turned out. But you'd never know because they're so busy dancing so beautifully. That's what you observe, right? But for you, you have to understand now, we're going to have to get you on one leg. So for you to do pirouettes, to do the ballet dancing, it's all going to be on one foot or the other. So, first of all, we have to make sure you have a core. This is your home base, okay, your core. So, these muscles here, right, are your glutes and your piriformis, right? So you use these muscles, you gotta squeeze. That's the other thing you have to get used to, right? Squeezing in here, and remember we had these muscles you engaged when we did the breathing? So this is in, this is in. So if we always try to think, okay, through your glutes, energy goes this way, comes out of your hips, it's turning out and around, and this is in, this is forward, this is going back. This is in, forward, going back. So that you're always aware that this is, again, the rule of ballet, inside out. Everything is inside out. So that in a sense, then, you really want to think you have a square here, okay? So that this connection like this, right? So you think we try not to do anything here, because from here your body is going to bend, and from here your legs are going to move. So therefore you try not to move it. So this is most important for you as beginners, is to get your core. This is your home base, all right? So you try not, this is why we also look in the mirror, but most of all that you learn to really feel these muscles here, like that, okay? That's one thing. The other thing is that to learn to get on your leg. And again, this is probably where I'm very different from most other teachers, because I emphasize, to me, it's all about, are you going to be able to balance and dance on one foot or not? Whereas other teachers, the traditional teachers, they don't care how you do this, but they're just more concerned, point your foot, and they want you to turn your feet out. You know, they're always thinking about your foot positions. But I'm thinking about, can you stand up in your number one, with your turnout, with your pelvis, and I say locked. I use that expression. I want you to lock the pelvis. So eventually you learn that you can do this and that, and you're never going to do, because every time you do this, I call this going out the back door, right? Every time you do this, you're off balance. You can't pirouette this way. You can't move across the floor this way. You've got to learn to work with this. That's one thing. The other thing is that you have to learn how to stand on one foot. So, you see this line? It's in my shoulder. You see that? So also we want to connect. One more thing. Shoulder to the hip. Shoulder, like you have a rectangle here also, all right? So this always stays connected here, yeah? We don't disengage. Also, in contemporary dance, they lean. You can see this. You can see that. But in ballet dancing, we can bend, we can curve, right? But we don't lean and we don't tilt, right? So, you see this line here? I'm on 2 feet. It's in my shoulder. You see that? So when I put my weight on the foot, I'm going to move it from here. I'm going to take my pelvis, and with it goes my body, right? My shoulders, and I'm going to move over to here. So can you see now where that touches the floor? This is still inside the shoulder. So what I'm showing you is that when you stand on 1 foot, from 2 feet to 1 foot, you're going to have to take your body, and you're going to have to move it until you see this toe is inside the shoulder, that shoulder is outside the toe. Supporting shoulder, supporting side, supporting leg. So, at the bar, then you're going to stand, number one, okay? And remember you're always doing this, right? Not like this, this. So always try to think inside out, always opening, right? And also the lights up here on your chest, on your hips, on your cheekbones, up here, right? So, let's shift the weight. So let's go on this leg, let's go this way. You're going to go to your right, yeah? So I'm going to move the hand a little bit. So I feel the weight of the ball of the foot, the toe. There's no weight on that foot, right? So I can point it. So when we slide the foot with the toe on the floor, and I'm really forcing the instep, I'm stretching the top of the foot. And the difference in pointing your foot, it's really in your ankle and your instep. It's not about curling your toes. Your toes are straight. Okay, like this, and let's put the toe here. because later you're going to step on it. So this is the point tendu, all right? And your leg is in front. When it's in front or back, you're in fourth position. So this is point tendu, fourth front. Let's flex it to stretch your calf, all right? Point it, and then let's return. Remember, keep this locked. Now you have 2 feet, and now we're going to do this little demi-plie. And what are the magic words? Grip, pull, work, push, down. That's the formula, all right? So now we have to go into this foot. So let's slide the hand, and now can you feel your weight of the ball of the foot, the toes, the hip, and the shoulder? No weight on that foot. Slide it to the front. Look to see your toe is pointed here, because remember, later you're going to step forward on it. This is the point tendu, fourth front. Flex it, stretch your calf, spread your toes, point it, then carefully return, return, return. And again, the magic words: grip, pull, work, push, down. Okay, that's to the front. Now, we're going to work, look where your toes are pointing, because this, again, is a very difficult concept, and sometimes, Brian, you want to overturn out. All right, so look at your feet. And you have to get used to this, all right? I'm going to work in second position, or to the side. But side doesn't mean sideways, because you have to be turned out. Also, you have to be careful that you don't try to do this and twist this around. You're twisting your knee and your ankle. That's how so many people get injured. You know, most of the injuries are all self-caused by working incorrectly. So, from here, again, the first thing we have to do is get on your leg, right? Before you can move that other foot, before you can position, get on balance. So let's go over here. I'm over the toe, and my toe is pointing. Look down and see, where's your toe pointing? Now slide your foot, follow your toe, follow your toe. So most all of you have to point your foot and extend your leg. It's in front of your body. But if you look in the mirror, you can see your foot and your leg in profile, right? Good, that's your second position, okay? And then flex it, point it, and pull it in, drag it, and let's do again. Grip, pull, push. So again, count 1, place your body, move your hands. You have to move your hands. This is number 1. Okay, and let's think, when you slide your foot, every movement we make is an exercise in engaging muscles. Everything is to strengthen, right? And you need strong feet. So could you push the floor away? Think of pushing the floor. Push the floor. Push the floor. So can you feel there are muscles in your foot there? There's your point tendu. Flex it, point it. Now, let's think of pulling the floor to you. Press down, toe ball, heel. You know, as soon as I said that word, I can feel them. Can you feel the muscles all the way in here? These are the muscles that close your leg. So pull, 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 and don't bend your knee until you're going to plie. Now you're in the middle, and grip, pull, push, and come up. So you're always watching to see. There's the number 1 here, and if you would press down the bar, your shoulders would stay level. You'll never look like this if you would work correctly. So you have to get used to using all the muscles in your body. You're busy all the time, using your brain, using your eyes, shoulders down, and you're like this. And watch to see, you keep this level, all right? And follow the turnout from here. So you're going to do this exercise. We say en croix, okay, in the shape of a cross. It means you're going to point front, both legs, then you go to the side, then you're going to go to the back, and to the side. But the most important for you is to make sure you're number 1, you're properly placed, you're not going to move here, that foot keeps your weight, and that you're properly working this one as you slide, all right? So that's what you're watching for. At the end of the exercise, I want you to push down and rise, okay, to the half toe. Then I want you to find your balance, and the first time, let's just drop the arms, okay, and just stay there, and then you can put your hand on the bar and come down. So just so you get used to, we say relevé, right, standing on the half toe, like that, okay? Okay, now we're going to do it with the music. So everybody stand up. Number 1, place your hands on the bar. Lock your hips. Now you're going to get on your leg. 1. Point for movement while your shoulder on your leg. Flex. You have to make sure you shift. This is all about balancing on one foot. Pull. Now the other leg. Make sure. Your shoulder, your hip. Over the toe, ears back. All right, and then slowly watch that you keep your turn out. Grip, pull. Now to the side. Now follow your toe, where your toe points. And push. Okay, can you see right shoulder, your hip, over the toe. Now pull it in. pull, in the middle. Okay, now you're on the other foot. And you're always pressing down, shoulders back, a straight line to the center of your body. Right? Okay, now you're going to go to the back. But first you have to get on your leg. Over. Now follow your toe. Leg is straight. Shoulder to the toe. Good. Now careful with your turnout. Grip. Pull. Now you're on the other leg. So you're always on one foot or the other. Ears back, long neck, high chest, hips forward, and keep the turnout. Grip, pull, push. Now to the side again. So you're always number one. You're always on balance. That's the most important. Right? Slow grip, pull. Now you're on the other leg. Always one leg. Show me your heel. Show me the heel. Okay, now I want you to push down and rise to the half toe. Now I want you to find your balance. And bring your arms in first position. So you're all your way to your toe. Stay here, shoulder down. Now we're going to work the head. I want you to look this way. Now look to the front. And look over your other shoulder. And to the front, and over to the side, and to the front, and to the side, and to the front, and you can relax. You can make a deep breath. Relax, relax, relax. Stretch, stretch. Okay, good, good. Okay, rest.